Welcome to Chamber Chats, a weekly series by the West Monroe, West Ouachita Chamber of Commerce, highlighting our valued members. As always, find out more about the Chamber and our members online at westmonroechamber.org. Special thanks to our Season 2 title sponsor, Ouachita Valley Federal Credit Union. And now, this week's episode of Chamber Chats.
Hey everyone, it's Chris with the West Monroe Chamber, and we are here with our friend Kasey with Stills by Kasey in this beautiful new studio. So we're on Wallenstein Road, and you just built this place. So, hey, tell us about you and developing your photography eye, and now bringing this cool company to our West Monroe family.
Yeah. Okay, so I've been doing photography for about 7 years.
Sure.
I started like a year before we had our first child, and I really just would see pictures, and I was like, man, like I would love to make beautiful creations and art like that.
Sure.
And so then we had our first kid, and so I was like, yeah, this is my opportunity to
Right.
really,
now is the moment.
Yeah, to get in there and like capture the moments. And so I guess that really is where it all started, was having her. And then I would shoot everything. Like I would go to friends' birthday parties and just shoot it for free because those are memories. And like any event that I could get into, like whether it be family or like business related or just whatever, like I would do it for free.
Right.
Well, because I was still learning, and when I started, I was terrible.
Oh no. But everybody has to go.
I really was, yeah. I would say like it did take me a long time to like get here, but to like really get good, I guess. But anyway, it took me like 3 years probably to like really develop an eye for like my own, like what I wanted it to look like. And because it's hard when you start photography, you have to like make your own like way they look.
Well, and anything in the arts, it's so hard because everyone wants to be new and fresh, and so you're selling you, but you're also selling this vision, and sometimes you have to like just go with it.
Yeah, that really is. I guess that was the hardest part.
Hard to always reinvent.
Developing your own kind of I don't even know the word I'm looking for, but like the look. Like when somebody sees my pictures, they're like, oh, I know that was your picture because like it's consistent and it looks like this. And so it takes a long time to like brand that. And so anyway, I fell in love, and I had a friend that she really inspired me. I loved her pictures. She was very candid, and she was the only person that ever
Because it's very easy to get overly post-production. It's very easy to do too much filtering, too much.
Yeah, it is.
Everybody wants to Photoshop, but that's really not the best.
It's not. It depends.
Capture the moment.
I mean, some people like the fairy tale look and stuff like that. I'm very raw. I mean, in my personality and like my work, I just like to make it look like crisp.
So you mentioned you had one kid, but that's not all.
Yeah, we have 3. We have a 2, 3, and 6-year-old.
Wow.
Yeah, and so it's fun.
Yeah.
It's
so built this space. What was your vision for the space when y'all were conceiving it?
Oh my gosh. Well, that's so funny because I had always dreamed of having a studio. Like, although it's not like how I wanted to start my photography, and I always said like, I don't like that. Like, why do people do like pose? And anyway, I was like hardcore hating. Okay. Anyways, my mind changed because the ability of natural light in a building
and control with a little.
Yes. And it gives you so many more opportunities. And so I was looking on Pinterest, and I'm like I really like the modern look, but like anyway, I had to find the balance between what I could afford, really.
Right. Well, but in any business decision, money is always a moderator.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. And so I found something similar to this building, and I sent it to my husband. Well, let me rewind. He just out of nowhere was like, why don't you build a photography studio? And I was like, I don't think we need to do that. Like, I just, I struggled because I didn't have like a huge amount of confidence in myself. But he did, and like he always has, which he's amazing. And so,
but everybody needs that person to believe in them.
Yeah,
give you a little boot in the butt.
And he is like he all the time. He's pushing me, and sometimes I'm like, back up.
Yeah, I'm not ready for that.
Hold on.
Yeah.
And so this was one of those moments where I was like, are we ready for that?
Yeah.
And we were like, I just,
when it's right, it's right.
Yeah, it was right. And so I was like, okay,
we'll go for it.
We'll do it.
So as you've developed your craft and as you're working with people capturing those moments, I was tickled. We just did a ribbon cutting for you, and you just said, just take the picture. Just go for it.
Yeah.
Right. But what brings you joy in working with your clients?
Oh my gosh. Well, there's so many different personalities.
Yeah.
And I love people, and like I love meeting people, and I just have a heart to serve people, really. Yeah. And so each person that comes in here or that I get to work with, they're just so different. And like I said, and like I said at the ribbon cutting, most of my clients become my friends. And like I know there's like supposed to be a rule between that, but with me, I'm just so personable, and like
you develop a relationship.
I develop those relationships, and then when they come to me time after time after time, like I'm seeing my newborns raised, and like the pictures in the hospital, like I'm shooting these babies from birth, and now they're like 3, 4, 5 years old. Yeah. And like I get to be a part of their family, like like so they're just like a part of me, you know. Yeah. And it's just a really deep connection.
Because you're capturing a milestone, but you're also getting invited into their personal space and kind of a little bit intimately building that
it's amazing that people trust me enough to bring me into that space. Yeah. And I enjoy it. Births are my #1 thing to shoot.
Oh, so you're there at the moment.
Oh yeah, like when they're out, I'm there. Oh, wow. When they're coming out, baby, I'm getting it.
I didn't know that was a thing. I just learned something today. Okay. Yeah. So you literally are there from the moment of life and documenting every moment for them. That's so exciting. Do you have something that's like a passion that you're working towards in the future? Do you want to expand somewhere? What's next for Stills?
There's a lot. So births is something that I would love to gravitate toward, like being the only thing that I shoot. However, I have a huge clientele outside of that. So I would love to gravitate toward just shooting births and in the studio with my clients.
Got it.
Which I love, like being creative and stuff outside the studio. But if I could be like a full-time birth photographer, that would be my next dream.
I love it. How exciting to
it really is. But like you said, like it's not that popular here yet. Yeah. I'm actually waiting on one right now.
Well, and that would be it. So if it's not scheduled, you would be moment's notice. We got to go.
Yeah, we'll have to go if she texts me. No. But I love like the anticipation and the excitement, and every birth is different.
And again, sharing that moment. Very intimate moments.
I'm friends with all my birth moms.
Yeah.
Like, because I just share that intimacy with them as a mom myself, not only as their photographer, but like I've experienced that, and I've had all my births shot, and like it is images that, like, because whenever you're giving birth, which I know you don't know, but there's so much adrenaline in that moment, you don't remember. Like, you don't know what's going on. The room is like spinning. And if you've had an epidural, you're out of it. Like you don't know. And so when you have someone there to like capture all the things, you're able to remember that.
You're gifting their memory back to them.
And so once I had my daughter photographed, I was like, oh, this is it. Yeah. Like this is what I need to do.
Yeah. So in working with a client, tell us a little bit about, do you have a meeting with them? What would a typical, let's say we were going to have a session here at the studio, how does that relationship form?
So I'm not as organized.
Okay, that's okay. Sorry.
So really, like I just get messages or texts and like looking to book, and then I send my packaging, and like a day and a package, and then that's it. We just meet.
And you meet, and in that moment, you make those decisions.
In that moment, we form a bond. Like, it's really weird. Really. I mean, it's awesome because, which I feel like that is something I do want to work towards, is like having, like a meeting prior. But I stay so busy, and with me having like all the kids by myself, it's hard for me to like set that time apart. But I could do like a FaceTime or something. But for my weddings, we do, because like if you don't like me, then you don't need to, because we're spending the whole day together. You know what I'm saying? Sure. And even births, like,
we need to have a relationship.
But I haven't. I've never done like a meeting with any of my moms. That's very interesting. I haven't thought about that.
Well, so it's probably people are drawn to your style. They like
this is style. And that really is it. Like, you've developed the messages that I get. They're like, I saw so and so's pictures, and I want to reproduce that. Still. And so
but the studio is not just a studio. Right? You turned it into an Airbnb. So entrepreneur on multiple dimensions. So
I'm trying.
So somebody can book the space as an Airbnb. They're using it as a crash pad. That's pretty cool.
So we have plans to actually build like a small Airbnb hotel behind. And so it's really going well. I mean, it's like the tiniest room and bathroom, but it works.
That's what people need. Just
and it stays booked, and it's like a cute space, and like people love that, you know. It's clean and crisp and easy, colorful, and
Well, we're so glad to have you as a chamber member. We'll post information about how to contact you, and maybe some examples of your work in the comments to the video. So thank you for joining us today on this episode of Chamber Chats.
Thanks for having me.
Join us next time as we explore other members of the chamber and give you some insights behind the scenes. Catch you then.